Because some guys, I mean, I think this is more of a Western guy thing, but a lot of Western guys, they want a girl who already has experience. And so if you want a girl who already has experience, I don't mean sexual experience, I mean life experience. You know, I hear some guys, they say, oh, you know, these young girls, they haven't done anything, they don't know anything. And so for them, they don't like that. And so for them, dating a girl who's younger is really unpleasant. But for most of the guys that I know, they definitely tend to prefer dating a girl who's, you know, 23. Usually if you go younger than 23, it's just way too chaotic. But you know, you can, but it just can be, it's so chaotic typically. But usually, you know, 23 to 25, I'd say most of the guys that I've worked with, they really like that age range. You know, it's like the girl is excited about life. She hasn't had a lot of bad experiences in her life yet. So she brings a lot of positive energy to the interaction or interacting with you, and a lot of excitement. So I think that tends to be the age that guys prefer or enjoy the most. Although, you know, as I was saying, because of that kind of unreliability and that inconsistency, it frustrates a lot of guys, and they would rather, you know, go older because of that.
What about the emotional connection as well? Do you get that in younger women?
I guess it depends what you mean by emotional connection, because from my perspective, emotional connection comes from experiences you have together. So
deep conversations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how you approach your deep conversations. I think you can have deep conversations with young women, but it's based on their experience. And so I think as you get older, the more time that you live on the planet, the more opportunity there is for bad things to happen to you. So if you're 30, you've had more bad things happen to you. Like, for example, you know, when I was 22, I'd never missed an airplane. You know, now I've missed 50 airplanes by now, I don't know, right? You know, so because you've never had those experiences, you don't worry about those things happening. But as you have these bad experiences, you start to worry more about bad things happening. And those bad things that do happen in your life, and I know missing airplanes is not really that bad. I mean, I'm talking about, you know, illnesses, deaths in the family, failures in your life, whatever that means, whether that's you got fired from a job, whether that means that you had a boss that drove you nuts and made you, you know, want to shoot yourself. You know, whatever, any of these things. It's just when you're 23, the chance of those things happening to you is so small. But as you get older, the chance is that bad things happen. They just accumulate. Bad things accumulate. And this is another thing. So, you know, about the age thing is that, yes, women who are older have had more bad experiences. It's like, okay, let's talk about a woman who's been in a physically abusive relationship. The chance that she's been in a physically abusive relationship at the age of 22 is relatively low, because at that age they tend to be in a social network, you know, whether that's school, typically it's school, that offers, and family, that offers some level of protection. But, you know, you finish university, you move to a new city, you get a job, you're out on your own. So from that point on, the chance of something like that happening is much higher. You know, so when you meet a woman, when she's 27 versus when she's 22, the chance that she's been through something traumatic, or it doesn't have to be super traumatic, but just bad, you know, it's just more likely. So that's another, you know, so that makes it, so it's no wonder that women are less excited about dating as they get older. Yeah, I mean, it's no wonder. I mean, I had a friend who once said that, you know, one of the differences between guys and girls, he said, you know, with guys that I know who have slept with a lot of women are usually really cool guys. But with women, it's like the more guys they've slept with, the more mistakes they've made. Because what he's saying is that if she's not in a relationship with any of those guys, all of those guys that she slept with are guys she are in her past, and she didn't have a relationship with them, which in some way suggests that it wasn't worth sleeping with them. Now, I don't agree with that exactly. It's not exactly right, but there is some truth there to say that if she could go back in time, would she eliminate some of those guys? Probably. Whereas most guys, if you say, okay, you know, if you could go back in time and eliminate some of the girls you had sex with, would you? Most of the guys would go, maybe there's like one or two where they're like, that was a really bad idea. But most of them, they'll be like, no, it was a great time. Great memories, right? Great memories. And so there's a difference because this is the difficult thing about being a woman. For a guy, sex is kind of a payoff, right? You go on a date or a few dates and you have sex and it's kind of like, okay, that was great. But for girls, sex is not the payoff. They can easily get sex. So sex is not a payoff for them. It's what do they get from that relationship with that guy? Or what do they get from knowing that guy? That's the payoff. You know, do they learn something? Do they create some great memories or something? So their payoff is longer term than ours is. I hope you got a lot out of that. I know that I said a lot. So if there's anything that I covered that you want me to focus in on more in another video, just leave a comment and I'll do that. And like and subscribe and yeah, all that stuff. Thanks for joining me.